Hello my loves, I'm Ellie Frost. Thank you so much for being on my channel where we are talking about the multi-dimensional approach to rapidly and radically healing and transforming during and after narcissistic abuse. And I talk all the time about this being a spiritual war, a psychic attack, an energy attack. And if you're feeling any heavy energy right now, we've got a lot going on in the astrology, but I know that we're doing something big here because I've had a lot thrown at me in the last 6 weeks energetically. And I think that's because as we evolve and we do this work, we're going to actually eradicate narcissism on the planet, because as consciousness elevates, there's no room for it. We're not trying to destroy them, they're trying to destroy us. But as we move up as we elevate our consciousness, basically, the lower levels of consciousness have to dissolve, right? So it is a spiritual war. Don't worry about it. I've got lots of tools and advice and things you can do, and it won't come at you. You might feel people's energy more as you get more aware, but I also teach you a lot of the time how to break psychic attacks and how to say no. If you are a light worker, a healer, someone on a spiritual path like myself, we get a lot of it more intensely because we are changing something in the world, and there are people that don't want people to heal, and they don't want people to be set free, but that's not what we're here for. Also, this video is called The Toxic Positivity and Railroading of the Narcissist, which I'm going to get into. But before I do, I've opened Sovereign, right? It's a new format, which means now you get a year access to the program, but it will depend on when you join, right? So it's officially open. Yeah, you won't get a year from when you start. The program's opening about now, and so wherever you join, you'll get whatever's left of that year. It's an awesome program. I suggest you join it. It's like the highest value I know on the internet for what I do in there. And the bonus is you don't just get a course that will change your life. And if you look at testimonials, if you read comments on this channel, you'll see how life-changing it is. You also get on-the-spot coaching. So I do live Q&As. The first one in this program is going to be, I think, next weekend. I'm going to set the event up in the group. What that means is you get to submit your questions, and I will literally coach you directly on them. And you also can join live and get coached on the spot. So there's a lot of value, a lot of community. I'm building it as an epic community. You'll be able to renew your membership into it. It costs $555 or $111 a month for 5 months. There's nothing that gives you that level of coaching support and a program that will literally transform your energy. I mean, the people are still writing every day. Today I'm in the group, my old groups, talking to people about how they use this work every day to protect them from psychic attack, to break the trauma bonds, to go in to take moves in their life and evolve their life forward. So I really recommend that. Check out the links. Let's get on to this topic, because I mean, this one really pisses me off, right? Let's be frank. The toxic positivity and railroading of the narcissist. What does this mean? It's one way, right? So positivity is great. Yeah, I'm all for being positive and optimistic, but there's also like a way that especially narcissists and toxic people use positivity to completely invalidate you, right, when you're going through something. If you've been anywhere near a narcissist, you'll be going through something because they torment you, antagonize you, upset you, hurt you, you know, all that kind of stuff. So when you're having an emotion, right, when we're feeling something and we're sharing that, there's nothing more. I think what we really need, actually, let's just talk about what we actually really need, right? What we need is to be understood and held there. I talk about different things on this channel. I talk about, like, try not to just vomit your emotions on people if you can. Not because you shouldn't talk about them, but because when we just vomit out our trauma, which we want to do all the time when we're traumatized, I do it still, like, you know, if I get really triggered, I want it, that's what you want to do on whoever will listen. But some people are predators, and they'll literally see your vulnerability and exploit you for it and make it worse, right? The other thing is it's a lot for someone else to handle. You know, when you just, what we want to do is try and regulate first, but it's not about not sharing how we feel. This is essential for life. We need to share how we feel. We need to be real with people, authentic, and we need to be understood and held. But when we share things with people, it's like for the purpose of connection, for the purpose of being real, for the purpose of true, you know, understanding between us, you know. So we've got to understand, like, we want to regulate enough. Hopefully, not always. You're not always going to be able to do it. Sometimes life's going to get hard, and we're just going to vomit because we can't, you know, we can't hold it all in, and we may not be in a state where we can regulate. But when we can regulate, It's not about hiding what's going on in our lives and not being able to, we don't want to be around people that we've got to like completely defend ourselves from all the time and not share the truth. We want to be able to share like what's hurting us, what we're going through, that kind of stuff, with people that are healthy and in healthy ways where they can actually be with us without feeling overwhelmed by us, right? So one of the things that happens when you share anything painful with a narcissist is that they will completely invalidate it. Just be positive thinking. Oh, I've been through that. It's not that bad. Oh, that's nothing, right? But for you, it's a big deal. Those kind of ways of dealing with someone are completely cruel, and it makes you feel even worse because you feel bad for having a problem. You feel bad for not feeling good. And you're a human being. We're not meant to feel good all the time. So the thing is, like, that's unrealistic. That's not true in life. That's magical thinking that we're supposed to be just jumping around like unicorns, no matter how spiritual we are, right? We're human, and we were given the full spectrum of human emotions for a reason. And it's not wrong to be in pain. And it's not wrong to be upset. And you don't have to fake it. I don't believe in faking anything. I don't think you have to fake it to be... You can still be all of you, like everything that's special about you and hurting. You can actually still be... I talked to one of my clients today in Sovereign, and we would have this brilliant discussion about how, you could, like, we're talking about grief, and you can be in grief, right? But I was saying, like, but you can still let the bubbles of joy come in. So it's like, you're not just one thing any time. And sometimes we feel guilty if we're having heavy emotions to actually, like, know that we can also like have moments in the day where something makes us laugh, and that's okay. It doesn't undervalue that we're going through something heavy and we've got other stuff going on. But I said it was a bit like, a fizzy drink where, the drink might be dense, but like we just let the bubbles in, the whole thing lifts up. It's like we've got to just like elevate in the small way. So it's okay to be in heavy emotions and still let in a bit of happiness, still let in a bit of joy. Not all of us know that it's okay to do that. But I do suggest that this toxic positivity, which is like, just think of the good side of things when you're going through hell, does not help you. My ex-partner used to do that to me all the time. I'd say like, he'd do some really horrible things. Yeah, and he'd say, well, think of all the good I do. And quite honestly, there wasn't a lot of good, but I'd been so conditioned to breadcrumbs that what he was meaning by good was, I don't know, the fact that he, showed up or something sometimes. Like, I don't know what it was, but it was the standard things in a relationship. It wasn't like anything mind-blowing. I can't think of anything he ever did to, really anything massive. But I'd been conditioned to like just accept like the bare minimum, if that, of the good side of a relationship, and completely have to dismiss the negative side, which was terrible, right? Because I should just think of the good he does. Maybe he brought some food home, I don't know. That kind of stuff. So that's toxic positivity. Just think of the good thing. You're not allowed to talk about what's hurting you. That's not okay, yeah? It's not okay to invalidate your feelings and tell you to just be positive. Everyone wants to be positive. You're not being negative when you're telling the truth, yeah? The truth is the truth. It's not like negativity is more like putting negative spin on something that doesn't need to be there. But when you're going through something, it's the truth. It's not negative. It's the truth. You're not being negative, right? So don't let people toxic positivity out your life out of you. Don't let people make you think that you're wrong for going through heavier emotions. Don't let people shame you or make you think there's something wrong with you or you're just low vibing because you're going through a human experience. That's not the truth, right? You can be a high vibrational energy in general and go through life, and human beings go through life and we go through the full spectrum of emotions. That doesn't make you a low vibrational person. A low vibrational person is more like a narcissist who's constantly in lower energies, looking at things like greed and jealousy and hurt and pain, yeah? That's not what any of you here are doing. We're all here for like a loving life. We want love and connection and joy. It's just that we go through stuff and it's heavy, and that does not make you low vibrational overall. So when they can't tolerate your emotions, they're going to try and put a positive spin on everything. And sometimes it's outrageous. I've had very hard times, and people say to me, well, everyone goes through something, and everyone's going through something. And what they meant was their kids were screaming. And what was happening to me was my world was burning down. It's completely different, right? So it's not helpful when people try and sort of diminish or dismiss or invalidate you, your emotions, or your situation in any way. Remember that: diminish and devalue or invalidate. If you, your situation or yourself are being dismissed, diminished or invalidated, you're with toxic people, not the people that you should be around. Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to find the right people, but I promise you it will come. So feeling even worse for the way you do, and that now you should be positive on top of it, and there's something wrong with you, is absolute rubbish. Finding people who we can be safe to share emotions with is the key. But often when we're upset, we just need connection. And that's why we end up doing what I say is the vomit. It's not that the vomit's wrong. I've done it and I can still be susceptible because I'm a human. And if something's really painful, we want to share it because it's just natural. It's just that for predators, they're going to latch on. And for other people who might be able to understand you, they might be overwhelmed by it. So the best thing is, like, kind of some of the tools I give you is in Sovereign, where we can regulate first and then communicate powerfully, which is calmly but not diminishing, invalidating or dismissing what we're going through, our pain and the truth, right? With people. And if we are around people that we can't share that with, then we have to question, should we be around those people, right? So empathy will change the world, mental health matters, and magical thinking, like just like this kind of toxic positivity, like you should just be positive, isn't part of the human experience. It's not natural, it's not normal, and it's for people who have not got the willingness or ability often to be a human being with you, show empathy, actually hold you in your emotions, right? But there's nothing wrong with you in that or me in that. It's just like it's a toxic trait that we've got to learn that really is not a good support system for us, especially if we've been through these cycles. So that's what I wanted to share, guys. Any comments, let me know. Lots of love, and I'll speak to you soon.